I'm Stephanie Kaza, the tubist of Calypsis, and I am here today with Jolene Khor, who is one of
Hi.
the you're one of the Rising Tide composers that we've been working with, and you composed a piece that I recently recorded with Jessica, our horn player, Dawn of Winter. So Jolene is coming to us from Wales, and I want to hear about that. So I was hoping that you could tell us a little bit about your background and about what you're doing these days. I know that you went to school for your bachelor's in Taiwan, and then now you ended up later at the Royal College of Music. So, yes, hello, welcome, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. So my name is Jolene Khor. I am a composer for film, television, and games. I'm actually from Malaysia, so um, I really like composing. I actually started when I was around 13. Just wanted to try out what it actually is, and then well, the more I did it, the more I do it, the more fun it gets. So it kind of just became what I want to do, and that's why I went to Taiwan to further study this course. Then during my studies there, I actually find like composing for media very interesting. So I was working towards it. That's why I got into the Royal College of Music to study composition for screen in 2020 to 2021, where I studied under Francis Shaw, Dimitri Scarlato, and Mike Ledusser. Um, so yeah, that's all about my studies. Right now I'm just working on some commissions. I'm currently working on some video games and some films, and I'm doing like a D&D podcast with someone I met in Reddit. Funnily enough, we met on Reddit, and then yeah, it blossomed into a really nice collaboration, and now we are working towards something really cool. Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. Great. So the piece that we have played by you, I feel like I mean, looking through your website and listening to some of your music, I don't know if this piece was a departure for you or just kind of another vein basically of extending your composition. But tell us a little bit about how this piece came about, maybe what was your original idea for it.
All right. So this piece, I actually wrote it last year around winter actually. That's why hence the name. Okay. So it all started when a junior of mine actually approached me. He said that I'm looking for a piece. I don't have enough music to play. I kind of want to play something new. So and then it kind of sparked an idea that I want to write something about my experience in London. So this piece kind of portrays the warmth and comfort I experienced while being in a faraway place from home during the cold winter of London. And everyone knows last year or like 2020, it was kind of a tough year because it was COVID, and it was really hard to meet anyone. It was a lonely time for almost all of us, but I still felt the warmth from my friends and families in my dorm, and through Zoom and all those things. It's like even though we are far apart, we can still connect to each other. And yeah, I felt the kindness and support. So hence why I wrote this piece. Unfortunately, during it's COVID season, and the performance was cancelled, and it was a shame that I didn't get to perform it to watch the piece perform live. So I was thinking like maybe I should send this piece out. Let's see who's interested to perform, and I'm really thankful that you guys actually wanted to perform this piece. It was really beautiful. The performance was excellent, in my opinion.
Well, thank you. We were kind of wondering because, you know, it, writing for brass is it's kind of a specific thing, and I don't know, how much you had done of that before. But did you have anything that you either that you were aiming to do with brass, or what was your approach to, taking your compositional style into the world of brass?
So, to answer your first question, well, I did not technically write for brass. I wrote for jazz bands. So big band
Oh,
style,
okay.
kind of like a I had it's one of the pieces in Rising Tide Music Press, called City Funk. It was kind of my first time approaching something a big scale, jazz kind of thing, and writing for um, saxophones and brass. So it kind of just gave me more confidence to actually try out writing for brass because I was a bit scared at first because it's really something new for me, and I usually write for strings and piano because piano is my main instrument. And the more I write it, the more I really like writing for brass. So right now I'm actually, I do like little sketches and stuff. I'm actually planning to maybe write something for horns in the near future. That's my main goal. I think it's actually a beautiful, the brass section. I feel it's kind of like um not a lot of people are approaching it because it's different, but to me I think it has a very beautiful sound quality to it. It's just that we need to know how to uh expand the capability of the texture, I think. Yes.
Yes, and I think too, we got some good feedback on our performance, even just about the combination of instruments. So, the horn and the euphonium are both the conical brass instruments. So they're the instruments that they don't point toward the audience. They're more like mellow sounding. They have that similar kind of sound and texture to them. So a lot of people commented that in combination with the piano, the combination of sounds was really nice because the two instruments sort of work well together and they kind of complete the registers together. So we also thought it was a really interesting combination. I haven't seen a ton for that particular combo, but it was fun and it worked really well. So we would
I was really surprised with the song coming out because it was a kind of a first combination for me. Why I wrote for euphonium and horn is because my junior wanted that. It's not like I wanted to choose that. It's just like, oh, he has his friend who's playing the euphonium, he plays the horn, and he's gonna get his accompanist teacher to play it for him. Then I'm like, okay, sure.
Mhm. I
But
mean
yeah,
that's how it is so much of the time though, right? It's like, yeah, my friend or my colleagues, this is the person who's collaborating with me. So I think it worked out really well for that. But it also takes that instinct to make sure that we have like places to breathe and phrases that make sense. And that was
yeah,
another thing that we appreciated about this piece because I mean, as a tuba player, like sometimes we do play string music, cello music, or something like that because otherwise we don't have the ability to play something like Bach. But of course, that's a very different that's a very different challenge for us. So we kind of felt like the phrases had a sort of often kind of like a quality to them that was maybe vocal or just at least like length of a vocal phrase where we could still manage it and manage to sound good at it, which is always nice, I think.
yeah,
um
true.
but we really appreciate it. We really had a lot of fun playing it. So of course we're going to be bothering you in the future about brass quintet music and things like that. But yeah, maybe
I'm happy to oblige. I like writing.
yeah. Well, the other thing that the feedback that we got here at UNI when we performed it was that a lot of our students who were attending the concert really connected with that piece because they are so into film and video game music, and they kind of identified that style a little bit in your writing. So I also feel like aesthetically, that type of piece was very pleasing to that audience. So that was another reason why people loved it. But
Aw.
speaking of films, video games, all of those things, maybe you can tell us about some of your upcoming projects and things you're working on right now.
Okay, so right now I'm working on a game called The Gods Fabled Soil Frontier. So I was approached by the game dev. He's a solo game dev. He's working on literally everything by his own, the artwork, the animation, the programming, except for music. So I was approached by him to write the trailer for the Kickstarter. And after writing it, it got a lot of support, because of the art is really good and the concept of it. So that's what I'm working on right now, and we will be having an alpha version very, very soon, around March. And well, if anyone supported the Kickstarter, like that's like, you know, those tiers. Like if you supported on that particular tier, you get to play the alpha. I'm not really sure about it, but yeah, I just wrote the music, and you know, I was really happy that it got a lot of support, and then I get to continue composing it. That's the best part. Another thing I'm working on is the soundtrack for Towers. So that was also approached by I was approached by this game dev. It's a game. Towers is a game where it's somewhat like adventure kind of tribal game, and something like Breath of the Wild. It's like Breath of the Wild, but very tribal. So I was approached to actually write some music for it. So I'm really excited to write more and more. So the game dev has been really, really kind to me. So yeah, I'm really excited to show everyone that, you know, once it's like out. I think
Yeah,
it's gonna take some time because, well, all of these indie games, there's some of them actually have only one person working on everything, or maybe just less than 10 people. So it's gonna take a while, but it's very um impressive, honestly. It's very impressive.
that's great. Yeah, it might take a while, but it'll be worth it. It'll be awesome to hear the music and everything all coming together. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so great. One final question for you is just, I know we mentioned briefly Rising Tide. So risingtidemusicpress.com is where we can find some of your music. Where else can people either find information about you or your music or what you're doing online?
Okay, so if you want to look for my music, you can go into www.jolenekhor.com. There will be links to my YouTube channel, my Spotify, and you know, you can find my music on Apple Music as well. You can find me on Instagram. Yeah, just Google my name and it should be there.
Yeah, it's actually pretty easy. You're right. Great. Well, Jolene, thank you so much for talking with me today and for writing this piece. And like I said, we are going to be looking forward to a lot of more music from you in the future and hopefully some more brass music. So I'm glad that hopefully through this, some more brass people can kind of learn about your composing as well.
Aw, thank you, and thank you for the opportunity, and thanks for playing my piece.